Would you like to know more?
I just had in mind this is Sandra Dee and Troy Donahue go to outer space and fight giant bugs and become Nazis.
Starship Troopers, released in 1997, is a sci-fi propaganda adventure film starring Casper Van Dien as Johnny Rico, Denise Richards as Carmen Ibanez, Dina Meyer as Dizzy Flores, Patrick Muldoon as Xander Barkalow, Neil Patrick Harris as Carl Jenkins, Jake Busey as Ace Levy, and Michael Ironside as Radcheck. Directed by Paul Verhoeven and written by Ed Neumeyer, both of RoboCop fame, with bug special effects by Phil Tippett of Jurassic Park fame, along with the whole of Tippett Studios. Starship Troopers is both an amazingly well-made and self-aware film, while also being a failure in terms of properly communicating its position on the world that it's satirizing, as well as failing to understand who their core audience is. To really appreciate Starship Troopers, I suggest that you watch the film twice, the second time accompanied with the commentary with Paul Verhoeven and Ed Neumeyer. To explain why rewatching the film with the director and screenwriter's commentary, and why that will give you the best appreciation for the film, I may need to spoil things a little bit. So if you've never seen the film before, go ahead and give it a watch before continuing on with the rest of this suggestion. Starship Troopers is a split of 3 movies. On the one hand, you have an overarching satirical element of showing a fascist, militaristic world in its extreme, but played straight. Carl Jenkins, a character who begins as sort of a class clown, by the end of the film is in full Gestapo gear, claiming that their newfound enemy, the bugs, are afraid to thunderous cheer. This was the main intention of the film and the themes that they really wished to explore. For example, the public execution scene during one of the propaganda reels.
Was captured this morning and tried today.
Guilty.
Sentence, death. Execution tonight at 6. All net, all channels. Would you like to know more?
Then you have the dumber elements of the film, which is the action, gung-ho, sci-fi, blow-em-up, bug-killing, guts and glory adventure story of surviving and overcoming the aliens. This is probably where a significant portion of the budget went, and is what forced Paul Verhoeven to scream at his actors so that they could imagine bugs were attacking them. This is what they hoped would carry the film for the mainstream audience who might not have cared about the whole fascism is bad messaging.
Their attack was unexpected. Their motive was a mystery.
Oh no. The stress call was trapped.
But our message to them will be perfectly clear. Starship Troopers, rated R.
And judging by the fact that there are sequels and animated TV series and toys for kids, I guess they did okay. And lastly are the love triangles of Johnny, Carmen, and Dizzy, as well as Carmen, Johnny, and Xander. This aspect of the film is probably the most engaging, such as the almost universal hate of Carmen over leaving Johnny.
You got something to say about the mobile infantry?
I think you heard me. Wanna make something of it? Private?
Not with an officer. No, sir. The MI doesn't mint stupid troopers.
Let's disregard rank.
Xander, please.
Everybody hear that? Rank is not an issue here.
Don't do this.
Come on, what's he gonna do?
Part of the problem with Starship Troopers is that the lens of propaganda works a little too well for its core audience of dumb Americans who were primarily brought in by the dumber gung-ho killer bugs movie that was advertised to them. Since the film is played completely straight within its fascist world, and as an action movie we're already pretty conditioned to cheer for the protagonist, a fair majority of the audience leave this film thinking that Michael Ironside is right, that Denise Richards is a slut, and so give the director's commentary a watch because it's worth knowing what the intentions behind the film were, laid bare. I'm not sure how available the commentary is, but I found it on the special edition DVD. Check it out.